It's time now for County-Wide, a presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. You'll hear about the interesting issues and happenings that affect all our lives. Here's today's County-Wide.
Well, good day, everybody. Welcome to the program. I'm Brad Miller. It is County-Wide, and we're happy to welcome into studio today, or actually via Zoom today, joining us from the Salt Lake City area, Lisle. And Caitlin is with bestfriends.org, a terrific outfit that we have talked with before, another representative. And we're going to talk today a little bit about the July 4th, the fireworks and what they can do, what affects the loud booming and the bright colors and things can have on our pets this time of year. And then further, we'll just talk. Summertime is here. Our first 100-degree temperatures of the season rolling in here in this past week or so. So we'll talk a little bit about that too. But first, let's welcome Caitlin Lisle with bestfriends.org. Hi, Caitlin. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
We're getting along okay today. I appreciate you folks getting in touch with us. What a timely thing to talk about, and that is fireworks and the impacts they can have on our pets. Every year, as you know, right after the 4th of July, when there's been fireworks displays and things, we get missing pet reports like crazy, and dogs particularly that get out and take off, simply frightened by the sound. So let's start there. Is that right? Do we see an uptick in dogs running away or taking off because of July 4th celebrations?
Yes, yeah. More pets end up, especially dogs, like you were saying, end up in shelters during the 4th of July than any other holiday.
Talk to me about kind of how this works. We've always had dogs in our lives. We just adopted a new one just not long ago. This will be her very first 4th of July. 2 of our dogs didn't care at all. One of our dog was terrified. And so it really kind of depends on the pet. But what advice, going into it? In Arizona, we don't have, we're not supposed to have like backyard displays and stuff, but there are public displays that are big and brilliant and wonderful and fun for folks, but not so much for our pets. And those booming rockets and red glare, really echo across the Verde Valley and can affect animals in a wide radius of that. So we should all kind of be prepared for the 4th, right?
Yes, definitely. The 4th of July can for sure be not a fun holiday for many pet owners. But there are, several things you can do to make it easier for yourself and for any of your pets that you have. So the biggest thing we always recommend is, make sure your backyard is completely secure. Dogs can hear way better than we can. And as we all know, fireworks go off pretty much the entire month of July, sometimes earlier than that. People start celebrating. And just because of that, dogs might get spooked in the backyard, try to escape, get to safety. So number one thing is to make sure there's no easy ways for your dogs to kind of escape out of your yard. And then the biggest thing, too, is to bring your pets indoors, especially during a fireworks show. So if you know something's going on in your neighborhood or it is a big 4th of July firework display locally in your area, make sure your pets are inside and in a safe place. So some people will have their pets in a kennel or a crate if they're used to that, or if you have, a bedroom that they feel safe in. Sometimes music can help. So if you have like soothing music or even a white noise machine or a TV that you can turn on, just so your pet has something else going on besides just the, scary firework booms that happen. Also, we recommend giving them a kind of a tasty treat. So if they have like a favorite treat, frozen Kongs are always great to have. So you can freeze like wet food in them or peanut butter. And it's just kind of a long, like savory treat that will last them at least an hour or two to hopefully get through the fireworks. Another thing, too, is to make sure your pets have collars on and proper identification, right. And also microchips. So if your pet is microchipped, now is a great time to call your microchip company, make sure your pet's information is up to date. And one thing that people don't always realize is you can register your pet's microchip directly with the company itself. That is really convenient, especially during holidays when most shelters or vet offices are either closed or they have like limited hours. That way, if your pet does get out, you can be contacted directly by the company. You don't have to wait for after the holiday for a vet or a shelter to be open to give the proper information.
Okay. So it's really just some kind of common sense. You were listing those terrific ideas about how to soothe our pets and distract them, perhaps during fireworks. It's a lot of the same kinds of things we might choose with ourselves: a warm, comfortable blanket, a cool spot, and something delicious out of the freezer. It helps us to kind of calm our anxieties. There's a real parallel there, or maybe it's just me. But one of the things that you said at the beginning, and I think we all know this anecdotally, but dogs have much more. Is it better to say better hearing than we do, or more sensitive? They're more sensitive to noise and sounds. It seems like those loud booms, to me, would be amplified for a dog. So he, A, has maybe never heard this before, and B, it's so loud that it's going to draw a reaction, even if they're not afraid of the noise itself. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, yeah. So to answer that, so dogs can hear better than we can, and they are more sensitive.
So both. Noise. Okay, sure.
Yes,
sure.
Both. Dogs have about 18 muscles in their ears, so they can rotate them kind of like a satellite dish in all different directions. So they can pick up noise about 2 miles away. So those fireworks can definitely spook them. We
have just adopted a dog into our family here not long ago, and she grew up. She was a stray. She was a rescue dog, and the best we can all figure is she was out there for about a year. With a terrific foster family, but in a real nice little property that's somewhat secluded. We live more in town, right at a major crossroads, so bringing her home, we could see how the bright lights, big city, kind of affected her with motorcycle noises. Those were new to her, and just so many kinds of things. So we just recently kind of went through this with our new adopted dog. And you can see easily when you kind of go through that process how sounds and even, I suppose, smells and things like that can really impact them. And so when all of a sudden thunder or something is rocking the sky, that's just got to be terrifying for an animal who you can't explain it to.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, they kind of go into like sensory overload with all that. Yeah, and it just can be too much for them. And you can't really explain to them what's going on like we can to each other. So definitely be a very scary holiday for our animal friends.
One of the things that we think about dogs, because they're more prone to kind of be out in the yard in the first place and to get out possibly if they're terrified and scared. Cats are more domestic, generally more inside, but can they kind of suffer from some of the same problems with fireworks and those kinds of sounds?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think just as a good rule of thumb, just keep any of your pets indoor, whether it's a dog or a cat. Just keep them safe and as comfortable as possible. Same
rules as dogs. Okay. One of the other things in the material that you sent, now here in Arizona, I think it's a little different than Utah. You can buy bottle rockets and firecrackers and things in Arizona, but you can't shoot them off, thank goodness, because we're dry as dust here most of the time. But one of the things in the material that you sent ahead of today's talk was that fireworks often contain substances that is straight up toxic to pets. We think, like gunpowder or whatever they use in fireworks, but there's other things too?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of poisonous substances in fireworks. So the dog does end up ingesting a firework. That can be pretty dangerous and deadly to them. Also, some dogs really like the look of fireworks. I had a dog years ago that would chase fireworks. So, some dogs can get injured that way. So it's just best to keep them completely away from all fireworks.
The pet's least favorite holiday is the 4th of July, an American tradition. Plenty more to talk about. We'll continue with Caitlin in just a moment, but also going to talk a little bit about the summer heat is here and just things that we need to remind ourselves every summertime of how to take care of our pets in the summertime heat. All right, Caitlin Lisle, bestfriends.org, if you want to check out the website as you listen to our broadcast. It's countywide, and we'll be back right after this.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley, and your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solaire offers free in-home estimates, locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolaire.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Hi, this is Louis Rice with Rice Accounting, Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, with a very sincere thank you for your continued business over the last 20 years. All of us at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service are very honored for the many community awards we've been given over the years. As always, we are open year-round, providing services for taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping. Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, located throughout northern Arizona, can help you with all your tax and accounting needs. For our nearest location, call 800-234-1040.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau property and casualty insurance company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
We welcome you back to the program. It is Countywide. I'm Brad Miller. Caitlin Lisle is our guest via Zoom today, and with the Best Friends Animal Shelter, Best Friends Animal Society. We appreciate the work that you do, Caitlin, through Best Friends, and chatting with us today in our first segment, talking about the 4th of July. Really not a great mix, generally speaking, with our pets and the 4th of July, the fireworks and the sounds that can make, and a lot of commotion just generally, with people having cookouts and barbecues and things like that. Dogs can get excited and be part of the fun, but when those fireworks come, once the sun goes down, it can be a terrifying end to a fun day for us and our animal friends. Let's talk a little bit about summertime. Our first 100-degree temperatures, I think, are rolling into the Verde Valley area this week and Arizona, so temps are up, and that needs another layer of caution for our animal friends. Isn't that right?
Yes, definitely. So a good rule of thumb in the summer is make sure that you are doing early morning or late at night walks with your dogs, since temperatures do creep up pretty fast, especially their little paw pads. So if it's about 80 degrees or hotter outside, that is too hot for your dog's paw pads to be kind of on the sidewalk or any type of pavement. They can easily get burned that way.
You kind of can give yourself the test, can't you? Just use your own, your hand is one thing, but your own sensitive bare foot might be a really good gift. You can't stand on it, puppy can't stand on it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can always, do the palm test. So put your palm down on the, sidewalk. And if it is too warm for your palm, then it is too warm for your dog friends to be walking around.
What about exertion? Our dog, she'll run and run until we, bring her in. And a lot of people will have kiddie pools and things like that, or proper pools that dogs like to swim in. Is that going to keep them cool enough when the temperatures are high? Just how do we kind of handle that? What's some good advice?
Yeah. So one thing to keep in mind is dogs do not sweat like we do. So the only way they can sweat is through their paw pads, and they don't sweat too much. So they're not able to actually release a lot of their body heat, even though they do sweat a little bit through their paw pads. So sometimes you'll kind of notice if it is hot out, your dog will kind of leave a little wet outline of their paw print on the ground. So that's their way of sweating. So because they can't cool themselves down as fast as we can, it is important for them to have, kiddie pools. That's a great way to keep your pets cool, especially if they do love to run around and be outside in the warmer weather. Just make sure they always have access to fresh water. They also make things like cooling mats. You can get misters just to kind of keep them from overheating.
Yeah. What are some signs? I know you're not a veterinarian, but some signs that the dog might be getting a little bit too warm.
Yeah. So number one sign is going to be panting. So excessive panting. maybe if they start laying down a little bit, their faces get, pretty pink or red. Their ears will get really red too. So that's a good indicator that your pet is a little too hot. So you do need to bring them inside.
Yeah, here again, just common sense. I see a lot of people like to travel with their dogs. Some dogs they hear your keys jingle and they're ready to go because it means a ride to go somewhere fun, perhaps. Pets in cars obviously is a problem. We hear, it seems like once or twice every summer, we hear about a tragic incident with a pet left in a car too long or some kind of sad circumstance. What is your take on that? Pets in cars during the warm times?
Yeah, so definitely as soon as it starts getting, honestly hotter than 50 degrees or so outside, it's pretty much too warm for your pets to be in the car. So, we might think it's a beautiful, great day, just being like 60 degrees outside, you're going to run to the store, take your dog with you. But within 10 minutes in 60-degree weather, your car can easily heat up to about 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So
you're saying you're saying 60 degrees outside, so really year-round in Arizona.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just way too hot for your dogs to be in the car.
Right. I see sometimes folks will leave the air conditioner on with the dogs in, the windows up, which ideally would be safe. I'm always, I don't know, kind of concerned whenever I see that the engine will die or there'll be some kind of a problem. Is that recommended?
Yeah, no, it's really just not a good idea all around. Even if your car is on, your air, if you're idling, your air doesn't necessarily stay as cold as it is when it's in motion. So it can become kind of lukewarm. And your car might stop. Your dog could hit a button in there and turn it off. So just to be as safe as possible and to keep your pet as safe as possible, just do not have your pets in the car when it's warm out.
Yeah, I see that quite a bit in the summertime, especially, and I just think, I don't know.
I know.
I wanted to bounce back to one thing that I neglected and I really was curious about, and that goes back to the 4th of July and the noises and the explosions and the fun stuff for us and sometimes frightening stuff for our pets. Supplements. I know in some of the material you sent, there are supplements for dogs to kind of calm anxieties that contain tryptophan. Isn't that the stuff in the turkey that makes me sleepy every Thanksgiving?
It is, yes.
Same stuff? Okay. But those can be effective?
Yeah, definitely. So, you'll obviously want to consult your veterinarian, but there are like mild anxiety sedatives that your vet can prescribe for your pet. One of my dogs has pretty bad anxiety, so I do have a mild sedative I give her once in a while. Or you can also try, some dogs, they make things called thunder jackets, which are just what they sound like. There's a jacket you put on your pet, but sometimes just the feeling of being like hugged will make a dog feel really safe. If you have a small dog, you can kind of swaddle them in a blanket, or if you have like a carrier, you can put them in. Sometimes those things make them feel a lot more safe and comfortable as well. Just
a little more secure. Yeah, well, thunder blanket. Well, that's a good point. I mean, our monsoon is coming too, and the afternoon thunderstorms can be every bit as explosive and loud and disruptive and anxiety-inducing as can the 4th of July fireworks and those kinds of sounds. All right. Well, let's take another short break. Terrific information. The 4th of July and summertime monsoon and the heat, all of those things we're pretty well adjusted to. But for our pets, it's a whole new adventure. We want them all to come through the summertime and the holidays safe and sound. So good advice from our guest, Caitlin Lisle, today. Bestfriends.org. Find out more about their mission and their organization there. We'll take another short break, come back, wrap it up on Countywide.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley, and your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology, factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solaire offers free in-home estimates, locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolaire.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Hi, this is Lewis Rice with Rice Accounting, Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, with a very sincere thank you for your continued business over the last 20 years. All of us at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service are very honored for the many community awards we've been given over the years. As always, we are open year-round, providing services for taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping. Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, located throughout northern Arizona, can help you with all your tax and accounting needs. For our nearest location, call 800-234-1040.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau property and casualty insurance company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
We welcome you back to the program. Again, it is Countywide. I'm Brad Miller. Caitlin Lisle is with us from Best Friends Animal Society. Caitlin, the bigger mission, we appreciate you talking about the holidays, 4th of July fireworks, summertime heat and stuff, but the bigger mission continues well after the summer and the holidays are over for Best Friends and animal shelters and rescues all across the country. The number of unwanted pets that need forever homes is really at not, if not a record high, darn close to a record high. Isn't that right?
Yes, yeah. So we are seeing, quite a few animals in shelters right now. I mean, there are always, shelters are always full of animals, but
right.
Seems to be a little bit more than usual right now.
Yeah. And just adopting, I guess, I know with COVID, a lot of folks were adopting pets and then a lot of them, it didn't work out. They were returned and things like that. I know, just in some of my reading, there's a little bit of a bubble there, and it means that there's more pets that need adopted than ever before. What advice do you have if folks have not owned a pet ever? If maybe it's been a long time since they've owned a pet, that home, that assistance is needed now more than ever, isn't it? What would you say to encourage people to adopt, to bring home a new best friend?
Yeah, so I always want to encourage people to go to your local shelters. Do some research, talk to staff there. There are staff and volunteers at all shelters that be more than happy to kind of educate you and give you as much information as possible. You can always start by volunteering at your local shelter. It's a great way to just get more involved in the community. And of course, fostering too. So, if you're not quite ready to make that full-time commitment to adopt a pet, you can foster and just kind of help a shelter relieve some space for a little bit, help an animal that might be sick or just need some socialization until it's ready to get adopted.
Yeah. Your new best friend is out there waiting for you, maybe now more than ever. I think we can almost say at a crisis level across the country and not just in pockets here or there. It's really a problem across the country. And then spay and neuter. I know what you're going to say when I ask, should those pets be spayed and neutered, Caitlin?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So the only way, that we can control the pet population is through spaying and neutering and education. So yes, get your pets spayed and neutered.
All right. Well, we appreciate the work you do. And again, folks can look at the website. That's bestfriends.org. Find out about Caitlin's organization or contact, as she suggested, your local shelter, rescue outfit or adoption and fostering programs in our area. There's a ton of them. We just got a new dog from one of the best rescue operations in the Camp Verde area not long ago. We couldn't be happier with her. Caitlin, thank you so much. We hope you, and I know you've got your little friend there with you. She's taking a nap now, I guess, but we appreciate you giving us some of your time today.
Yes, thanks so much for having us.
All right. With bestfriends.org, Caitlin Lisle, I'm Brad Miller. It's Countywide, and we'll see you next time.
This has been Countywide. Listen in each Tuesday and Thursday at this time. If you have a topic or guest idea that you'd like to suggest, email us, news@myradioplace.com.